everyone, welcome. My name is Kasia Różańska-Polakowska and I hope you can hear me. Can you hear me? You can use chat to say so. I hope you can hear me. All right, so as you know, today we're talking about the weather, okay? So I hope you're not feeling under the weather today. It's unwell, a little ill. Because I'd like you to be active here, to take an active part in the webinar, and do some fun activities I've prepared for you. You'll see. Okay, so I realize perhaps that talking about the weather might seem mundane, like a little boring. However, it's a neutral topic that everyone can discuss, and the weather is actually, one of. Sorry, my presentation doesn't want to go. One of the best small talk topics. So actually, let me show you some conversation starters. Some conversation starters. How you can start a conversation, for example, when having a small talk. I'm going to share my screen with you right now. Okay, and I'm going to take you to a nice exercise that is like a wheel of fortune. Okay, I hope you can see it. Yes, you can. Right. Look how many questions we have in here. Beautiful day, isn't it? Can you believe all this rain we've been having? Okay, you can start a conversation like this, or we can actually spin the wheel. Okay. What have you got? The weather's nice today, isn't it? Or we couldn't ask for a nicer day, could we? Or perhaps let's go with something else. Beautiful day, isn't it? Or did you order this beautiful weather? That was another one. Okay, so such nice questions that we have in here. And so you can simply continue, right? You can make conversation in this way. So it's actually a very useful skill. So I hope I've encouraged you a little to bear with me till the end, so as to expand your weather vocabulary and also learn some idiomatic expressions that hopefully will make you sound more sophisticated. Okay? Okay, but first things first, how do we ask about the weather? Can you tell me using chat? How do you ask about the weather? What question would you ask to learn what the weather's like? Anyone? See, got a few people here, so don't be afraid. Use chat at the bottom to say. Nobody wants to write. Okay. Well, let me show you my questions then. You can ask, what's the weather like today? Or what will the weather be like tomorrow? What's it like outside? Yeah. Or what's the temperature in, say, also today? What's the weather forecast for the rest of the week? Right? What do they say in the weather forecast? Do they forecast rain or sun for tomorrow? Yeah. I think it's going to be actually rainy tomorrow. I've checked, and also obviously with like some sun, but probably we'll have to wait for it for a little while. Anyways, when you see such a picture, the picture of the sun, what comes to your mind? Which words are you thinking of, right? Saying such a picture or saying the word the sun. Okay, which words come to your mind? I'm sure it would be sunny, perhaps summer. What else? I've prepared a kind of word map for you with some words that I think you're familiar with. Okay, so perhaps I'll show it to you, like sunshine, right, when the sun is shining, or heat when it's very, very hot, sunny, warm. That's like today, at least in Warsaw. So it's like 17 degrees, Celsius degrees. How about Fahrenheit? How many Fahrenheit degrees would that be? Do you know how many Fahrenheit degrees is 0 Celsius degrees? Does anyone know? That's like 32 degrees, okay? And 100 Celsius degrees would be 212 Fahrenheit degrees. Remember this information because it'll be useful later on. So if it's really, really hot, we can say it's burning or boiling hot, right? And probably, and it's very sunny, then so the sun is shining, so you can get sunburn, right? You can, burn your skin, it gets red, nothing nice. So these are some of the words I think you know, but how about something like balmy? That's one of the words I've put into the invitation to the webinar. So perhaps you've already checked the meaning of it. Balmy would be fairly warm and pleasant. Yeah, like the morning air is so bright and balmy, but soon it'll be hot. So like a typical perhaps July or August morning in Poland, yeah? When we have this nice balmy weather. Okay, but when it gets hotter, like a lot hotter, we can say that it's scorching, okay, or it's a scorcher, meaning a very hot and sunny day. Yeah, like in this one example, let's find some shade from the scorching sun, perhaps sit under a tree. Or it was a scorcher, so the whole family slept in the cold basement. Basement, probably know this one, right? It's like a room partly or completely below the level of the ground, right? So a room you can live in basically, right? It's not like a cellar. Okay, now would you need to use Polish for scorching or scorcher? That would be like upalny, right? Duszny upalny. Okay, we have a synonym of scorching here, that's sweltering, and again, meaning extremely or uncomfortably hot. So we don't like this one. So a cold drink or a shower was refreshing after the sweltering heat of the day. Yeah. So sweltering and scorching, remember, like synonyms. Okay. Now another verb this time is to parch. Right, that's about of the sun to make or become dry for intense heat. So when I think of parching, or parched, like in the past participle form, I have this picture of dried earth crops, soil like in a desert because of too much heat and not enough rain. Yeah. Parched also informally can mean thirsty. When you're parched, you want to drink, you're thirsty. Yeah, and in here we have this example. The cooler air was a welcome relief from the parching of the sun, right? So that's what we have in here. Now, on the other hand, so it might be it might be hot and dry, which perhaps is a little bit better for us, but sometimes it's hot and humid. Yeah, there's high humidity, meaning a high amount of water vapor or moisture in the air. Yeah, so then perhaps it's not so nice to put up with. Yeah. We have a synonym of humid here, that's muggy. That would be unpleasantly warm and humid. Yes, so warm and kind of wet. And another synonym of muggy would be sultry. Perhaps you've heard this one before. Again, hot and humid. So the two, muggy and sultry, being close synonyms. Okay. All right. And a few idioms, a couple of idioms before we practice and try to revise the vocabulary. So, a ray of hope. What's that? Does anyone know this idiomatic expression? We actually see a ray here in the picture, and you can sort of guess the meaning of it. This is something positive. There's a chance that something positive will happen. Like in the example, there's a ray of hope. It looks like we won't be losing our jobs after all, right? As a result of the pandemic, for instance. We're all fearful of that. So, right, something happened that actually improved the situation. Yeah, it was ray of hope. All right, and another one is come rain or shine. And I also think you're familiar with this one, aren't you? Come rain or shine would mean you can depend on someone to be there no matter what or whatever the weather. Yeah? Like in the sentence, I'll be there to help you move house, come rain or shine. So no matter what, right? Or whatever the weather, I'll be there. Okay, and one more idiomatic expression to take a shine to, a very nice one, and the picture is very telling. So again, I think you can guess the meaning of it. To take a shine to something or someone would be to develop a liking for. Right? So to start liking someone. Like in the sentence, Jerry took a shine to Sally. He says she's pretty. That's a nice expression. Okay, So let's stop now and practice a little. And what I've got here for you is a quiz that I've prepared using the same tool you've already seen, where you've seen this nice wheel of fortune. So you can click on the link, you can go to this exercise and leave your name there and do it now. But I'm going to show you here as well. I'm going to share my screen with you and play this exercise for you here so that you can see it. All right. Okay, so your task is to match the words at the bottom to the picture. Right, what do we say here? We see someone who's thirsty. It's probably very hot. So it's going to be, which one? Could be a scorcher, like a very hot day, or perhaps sweltering. Yeah, like it's very, very hot. Yay, that was correct. Okay, another one. Oh, that one's a scorcher, isn't it? Very high temperature, 40 degrees almost. So yeah, very hot day. I was right. Okay, another one. Oh, a thermometer showing you the temperature, but below it says 44%. That would be humidity, right? Saying how wet how much moisture there is in the air. Oh, look at these poor feet. They are so red. Probably somebody has spent too much time in the sun. They look sunburnt to me. That's right. And another one. Oh, what a nice picture. Wouldn't you like to be there? Yes, looks like a balmy afternoon or evening, right? Pleasantly warm. And last but not least, parched. Yes, so that would mean, dried earth or soil like in a desert, right? So too much heat, no rain, parched. That was another meaning of parched, informally, thirsty. Okay, you can actually check your answers now. They were all correct. Bravo. Alrighty, let's go back to our presentation now. Okay, and let's now talk a little bit about cold. Oh, I don't like it. I don't know how about you, but I don't like cold. Anyways, when the temperatures are mild, okay, it's not that bad because they are warmer than average in a cold season. So you could say it's quite mild out, so don't bother with the hat or gloves. Yeah, so it's pretty. The temperature is not so low yet. On the other hand, when it gets chilly, well, it's uncomfortably or unpleasantly cold. Yeah, so you could tell someone, oh, it's a bit chilly today, so I think you should wear a coat. Yeah, so that's well, the kind of temperature we often have in the morning. Yeah, it's pretty chilly in the morning, sometimes even in summer, right? It can happen. All right. Now, when the temperature drops even more, we could say it's freezing cold, right? And we could use this expression to emphasize how cold it is, that it's very cold. Yeah, I'm freezing, it's so cold in here. Yeah, or obviously there's another meaning below 0 Celsius degrees. Oh, by the way, remember in Fahrenheit, how many degrees was that? 0 Celsius degrees, 32 Fahrenheit degrees. Okay, so you could say it's freezing cold or I'm freezing to death, just to emphasize how cold you are. Or it's supposed to go below freezing, so below 0 Celsius degrees before the weekend. Right, so that's what you can say. And of course, when that happens, we're talking about frost. So the temperature outside falls below freezing point and it gets frosty. Yeah, so we say the nights had turned cold with the first frosts. The air was so frosty that we could see steam coming out of their mouths. Right? And when this happens, when there's frost or when it's frosty outside, you can feel a part of your body going numb, like your nose or your hands. You can say they are frozen. You can't feel them, right? They are numb or frozen. Yeah. Also, there's another word you could use to say it's intensely cold, frigid, frigid. Frigid blast of air hit him full in the face, right? So like icy air, very, very cold. Okay, so far so good. Let's have a look at some idioms now with the word cold in them. Okay, one of them is cold feet. And again, any idea what that means when you get cold feet? Um, mhm. It's got nothing to do with the temperature. It's like you feel nervous or anxious before you attempt to do something. Right? For example, before a wedding, yes, some people get cold feet before a wedding. Yeah, they're so nervous or anxious. We have another example here. I wanted to try skydiving, but I got cold feet. So did I actually try it? No, I wasn't courageous enough, right, to do that. Okay, so that's a nice one. And there's another one, to give one cold shoulder. What does that mean? Perhaps the picture will tell you a little. That would be like to sort of ignore someone, right? That's what I hope you can see in this picture. So to intentionally appear disinterested toward one. So you could say Helen was clearly unimpressed and gave George the cold shoulder, yes, for the rest of the evening. So she was ignoring him, we could say. Yeah? All right. So let's practice now. And I have another quiz for you that I'm gonna paste into our chat. So you can go there, leave your name, and do it to practice the vocabulary we've just discussed. I'm gonna share my screen with you and also show it to you here. That would be quiz number 2. Okay. Ready? Let's get started. So this time your task is to say if these sentences are true or false. Okay, let's get started. True or false? So when the temperature is lower than 32 Fahrenheit degrees, it's below freezing. Remember? That is true. Okay. Now the air can turn frigid in July. Oh, no, I don't think so. Not that cold. Mild weather is not very cold, or not as cold as usual. Yeah, that's true. You can get cold feet when you feel courageous about something. No, that's quite the opposite, right? So that wasn't quick enough, I think. That was too quick for me. In spite of the fact it's May, it can be quite chilly in the evening. Yes, for me. I don't know how about you. You can get cold feet when you feel courageous about something. No. And after walking through the snow, your feet can be frozen stiff. Yes, that's true. And the time is up. Time is up now. But most of our answers were correct, I think. Oh, we can check them. Yeah, most of them were. This one, I think I was in. No, this one, they are all correct, I think. Yeah, they were all correct. Okay, so I hope you like this kind of exercise. Let's go back to our presentation now. And what do we have here? We have some clouds now. So it can be cloudy, or what's the synonym of cloudy? We could say the sky is overcast. Overcast meaning when clouds cover the sky and no sun is visible, right? So the sky is overcast this morning, but the sun is supposed to come out by late afternoon. Now, what is the opposite of overcast? What comes to your mind? What would be the opposite, right? So you can say overcast, or, not overcast, but the exact opposite would be, you don't want to talk to me today, clear. So on a clear night, you can see a lot of stars, right? Now, but what happens when clouds turn grey? What happens, especially if they are dark grey? Well, probably we might expect that the weather will change, yes, and we might expect some precipitation. Ooh, what a difficult word. What is this? Precipitation is rain or snow that falls on an area, right? Like in a sentence, there is very little precipitation in the desert, right? Almost none at all. By the way, and did you know that frogs croaking in the lagoon means rain will come real soon? That's a nice proverb about the weather, and actually, it is true. It's been proved to be true. Frogs croaking, that would mean, producing the sound that frogs make. Lagoon, well, it could be like a pond, right? Kind of lake. So would you agree with it? Yes, that when frogs are croaking, it means it will rain. Well, it's said to be true. So, anyways, let's talk about rain now. Okay. A shower, well, when it gets showery, that's nothing kind of serious, right? Quick light fall of rain. Still, you might get soaked, so that would mean completely wet, like saturated. Did you get caught in the shower? Right, so that's why you're so soaked. You can say it's a showery day or it's showery. So. Mhm. No, and a synonym to shower would be a drizzle. Please notice you can use it as a verb as well. So to drizzle or a drizzle. And as an adjective, we say it's drizzly. Yeah, so that would be again light rain. Let's have a look at some examples. It was only a drizzle, so we didn't need an umbrella. It's drizzling. What a drizzly afternoon. Yeah, you don't want to go out. Okay. No, but when it rains a bit harder, we can say that it pours down. Yes, pours down. So it rains very hard. Yeah, we can say it's pouring down, or the rain is pouring down. We could just say an idiom here. It's raining cats and dogs, which I'm sure you've heard of. Yeah, so it's raining really, really hard. And again, a very nice idiom, a nice idiomatic expression to rain on someone's parade. Hmm. Do you know this one? Does it sound positive or negative to you? I think it sounds negative because it means to spoil someone's plans, kind of ruin the plans, or prevent someone from enjoying themselves. Yeah? So you could say, I'm sorry to rain on your parade, but I have some bad news. So nothing nice about it. Okay, all right, let's continue then. Now, when it's pouring down, right, we might deal with an extreme weather condition with very strong wind and heavy rain, and that's a storm, right? Or it could be a thunderstorm or electrical storm when you hear the thunder and see lightning. Yes, please notice the spelling, it's kind of tricky. And to put these into some sentences, it looks like a thunderstorm is coming. It's possible that a storm will hit our town tonight. It's thundering and lightning. Yeah, just like you see in the picture. And again, some very nice idioms connected with the two last words. We could say someone has a face like thunder. And again, the picture is very helpful because it means when somebody's visibly angry or upset and you can notice the emotion on the person's face, like here. So you could tell mom was fuming, like she was very angry. She had a face like thunder. Well, I hope it wasn't yesterday because we had Mother's Day. Yeah, I hope so. Okay, how about lightning? We can see something is lightning fast. That would mean super very fast, right? Like some device, it's lightning fast and so easy to use. Right? So a very nice expression. Yeah? Okay. And when speaking about precipitation, right? Talk about precipitation. Let's talk about hail as well. Hail, as probably you can see in the picture, would be small hard balls of ice that fall from the sky like rain. And you can use this one as a noun and as a verb. Okay, so you can say, "Did you get caught in the hail?" Or you can say, "It's hailing." Yeah, so you better put your car away into the garage because it might get dented. Yes, if the bolts are really big, and then that can happen. And one more type of precipitation that we have here is snow. You can see some beautiful snowflakes in here. And a very light snowfall would be a flurry. Yes, nice word, flurry. You can use it in plural as well. Say there are a few flurries, but the snow isn't sticking to the roads. Yeah. So it'll probably, like it's melting quickly. So so it doesn't like sound very serious. On the other hand, when we're caught in a blizzard, well, we might have a problem because a blizzard is like a severe snowstorm with high winds. Okay, so we could say they were held up for 2 days by a blizzard. So perhaps somebody's flight was cancelled and they had to stay in some place and wait it out, right? Um, so that's a blizzard. Now, when it gets a little warmer, it might sleet, uh, or there might be sleet because it's again both a noun and a verb. So as you can see in the picture, that will be a mixture of rain and snow. Yeah, or something pretty awful, right? And you could say there's sleet on the road, so slow down, or it's been sleeting all day and it's wet. And so awful weather conditions on the road. Something similar to sleet would be slush. I think even the sound of the word doesn't sound so nice. It sounds kind of unpleasant, slush. And again, it would be snow on the ground that's been rained on. Awful thing for driving on or even walking on. Yeah, we could say the snow turned to slush as soon as it started to rain. Yeah, so if you want to use Polish here, breja, błoto po śniegu, right? Awful thing. Okay, so what else do we have in here? So to finish off the topic, let's have a look at one idiomatic expression with snow, to be snowed under. And again, the picture I think is pretty helpful. To be snowed under means to have too much work to do, to have a lot of things to deal with at once. So you could say, Terry cannot come and watch the game with us. He's snowed under with work. What can you do? What can you do? Woof, this part's been longish. So let's pause now and practice, okay? And again, I'm going to paste another link into chat for you so you can go there, click on it, and do the exercise yourselves. But I'm gonna show it to you here as well. That's exercise 3. This time. And this one is about putting one of the words that you see at the bottom into the gap. Ready? Let's get started then. So you can get struck by what during an electrical storm? Would that be thunder? No. Would that be lightning? Snowflakes? Not during an electrical storm. Flurry? No, that was light snowfall, right? Forecast? No, it doesn't make sense. Raindrops? Perhaps lightning is much better. Yes, it is. Okay. Another one. Oh, sorry. There's often a light in the afternoon on this island. Precipitation, well, it wouldn't go with the article A, just like humidity. Frost, a light frost, perhaps no. Same with hail. Drizzling, no, the form is incorrect, right? Shower, that's the one, light rain, right? There's often a light shower in the afternoon on this island. Okay, and another one, the rain's nearly stopped. It's only raining cats and dogs. I don't think so, because that would make sense, right? It's quite the opposite. Lightning now? No. Tempest. Tempest actually is another word for a storm, but it's used more often in a literary like in literature. Yeah? So again, a violent storm. Drowned? No, doesn't make sense. A noun from dry. Yes, pouring down doesn't make sense. Drizzling. That's the one, right? It's only drizzling, so it's light rain. And one more now. It was so hard we could barely see for 30 yards. Sleeting, how about that one? Remember that was this mixture of rain and snow? That would make sense. Blizzard, it was blizzard? No. It was slush? No. You can't use it this way. It was showering, so, well, perhaps, but you don't really use the verb shower means something else. So not really. It was thundering, so it would produce some noise. Pouring, Not with this spelling. Yes, if you're thinking of pouring down, the spelling is different. So the only possibility here is sleeting. That's the one. Okay, so if you're doing the exercise on your own, please stop. Please don't go to the next one. Okay, because we haven't done that one yet. So let's just go back to the presentation now. And I'm sorry. And okay, so we've been talking about precipitation, but when it's finally stopped raining and the sun's come out and it's shining, what we can see in the sky is, and of course you know this one, don't you? It's a rainbow. And a nice idiomatic expression with a rainbow is to chase rainbows, which would mean to try to achieve the impossible. Okay, like in this example, I know you want to become a famous singer, but don't chase rainbows. It's not easy and you're just not good enough. Sorry. Okay, a nice expression to chase rainbows. Now, I really like rainbows because it means the weather's improved. Yes, which is not the case with fog. Yeah, so fog being weather condition in which very small drops of water come together to form a cloud, a thick cloud, which is close to the land or sea, and it makes it difficult for us to see. Okay? So we could say it's foggy. The weather is so foggy today. We've got some synonyms to foggy. Hazy. The morning was hazy, but it cleared up later. And another one is misty. So the windscreen is all misty, so you have to wipe it, clean it before you can drive. Yeah. Okay. And again, a very nice idiomatic expression with fog. Not have the foggiest idea. And again, the picture is very telling. To not have the foggiest idea would be to have no clue, to have no idea, right? As in the sentence, sorry, but I don't have the foggiest idea where those files are, or where I've put my keys. This is something I hear at home pretty often. Yeah, so remember this one because it's a very nice synonym to I don't know. Simply, yes, I don't have a clue. I don't have the foggiest. So, very nice expression. Okay, and lastly, right, let's talk about wind. Yeah. So when we have just the breeze or when it's breezy, it's a light and pleasant wind. Yeah. So we could say, I felt the gentle breeze on my face. Yes, like on a summery morning. The air seemed so fragrant and breezy. Fragrant, that would be about pleasant smell. Yeah, fragrant. So now a very strong wind would be a gale, right? That's a very strong wind, which can even destroy some buildings, yes, because or trees, like hundreds of old trees were blown down in yesterday's gale, right? And even stronger wind, that this one would actually destroy or damage buildings, would be tornado. Yes, or a twister in American English, but that's informal. So that's a strong, dangerous wind that forms itself into an upside down spinning cone, right? As you can see in the picture, and it's able to destroy buildings, and it moves as it moves across the ground. Yes, so it's a very serious weather condition, and it's better to obviously stay away from it. Yeah. Some synonyms would be typhoon. So again, violent wind that has this circular movement found in the West Pacific Ocean, like hurricane. And one more, cyclone, violent tropical storm. Right? So very serious, very strong kind of wind. Okay, so let's now go back to this exercise we've been doing before. Okay, that was our quiz number 3, and we've got 3 sentences left now. So it was 2 for the pilot to land the plane. 2 mild, no, it doesn't make sense. Balmy, no, it doesn't make sense either. Sweltering to hot, foggy. Chilly to cold? No. Muggy, that was like, if you remember, hot and humid, kind of wet. So, no. The best one would be foggy, right? It was too foggy for the pilot to land the plane. Okay, let's have a look at the next one. The weather on Saturday is expected to be dry and Good. Let's go on a trip. Let's have a look at all these woods here. Oh, frigid, if you remember, was like very cold. So probably we wouldn't like to go out. The weather is expected to be gale. No, not wrong sentence structure. Breezy. How about that one? Pleasant. So nice, pleasant wind. Hazy and misty are synonyms. Foggy. Well, perhaps not. Hailing. The weather is expected to be hailing. No, you wouldn't say that. So breeze is the one. Okay, that was a good choice. And the last one, or actually one but last, more than 10,000 people were left homeless by the humidity, no sense, fog, windfall. Well, windfall actually, we haven't discussed this one, but this actually is an idiomatic expression and it does exist, but not in this sentence. We won't use it in the sentence. Blizzard, even if it is spelled with double Z, typhoon, and breeze. No, definitely not a breeze. So it'll be typhoon, right? Yes, the choice was right. And the last one, when you chase, you pursue goals that are unrealistic. That's unlikely. So when you chase a twister, mist, gale, rainbows, rainbow, haze, which one is it going to be? Rainbows. Which one? D or E? Definitely D. Is this spelling? All right. That's okay. So let's go back to the presentation now. Okay, and two more idioms with the word wind or breeze here. To be a breeze. Uh, I'm wondering what comes to your mind because well, it feels kind of light, right? To be a breeze, yes, and so it means to be easy, right? Or requiring little effort. It's not much effort. So the exam was a breeze. I'm sure I passed it. Yes, so it was a piece of cake for me. Yes, very easy. To be a breeze, that's a nice one. And there's another nice expression to get wind of. And again, the picture is very helpful in here to learn about something or hear something that should be a secret. Yeah, so I wouldn't like the press to get wind of it at this stage. Yes, I wouldn't like the press to learn to find out about something, to get wind of something. Yes, instead of learn about something, find out, you can use this nice idiom, get wind of. All right. So that was actually the last expression today, and I don't want you to feel overwhelmed or snowed under with so many new words. So let's just revise all the idioms now, okay? And again, I'm going to paste the link to this last exercise into the chat so you can go there yourselves, okay? And I'm gonna. Oh, have I pasted it or not? Yes, I have. Okay, and I'm gonna show it to you now. Idioms. So your task now is to match, okay, the idiomatic expressions on the left with the sentences on the right. Okay, so we're going on a trip tomorrow, no matter what, right? Whatever the weather, so come rain or shine, right? Now, if the school director is prank, that's like a practical joke, yes, some mischievous act, well, planning will be in deep trouble. So it's like if the school director finds out, right? Remember, gets wind of. All right. Now I got right before signing the deal. Which one would that be? It was probably like I was a bit anxious, right? A bit fearful, perhaps. Perhaps I didn't sign it after all, so I got cold feet. Yeah. I didn't have what he was talking about. I didn't have an idea. Okay, so that will surely be this one. Yes, I didn't have the foggiest, or I didn't have the foggiest idea. I had no clue. This one, I think he's a bit of you. Which one was it? It was at the very beginning. Uh-huh. I think he's taken a bit of a shine to you. Right, so like he likes you, right? Been attracted to you. I'm sorry to, but you're not allowed to have alcohol in the premises. Yes, so you're having a party in your office, for example, and here it comes someone, a card, for instance, saying, "I'm sorry to rain on your parade, but you're not allowed to have alcohol on the premises." So he's spoiling our fun. Another one, maybe it'll degrade with time, say a computer, for instance, but after several months of usage, it's still lightning fast, right? So it's very fast. And last but not least, thank you so much. You've given me a ray of hope, right? So the situation's improved in some way. There's some hope. Let's check our answers. Yay! They are all correct. Surprisingly. Alrighty. Okay. So, anyways, let me stop sharing the screen. And my really last slide for you is this one. So there's no such thing as bad weather, just a bad choice of clothes. Do you agree with it? I'm wondering. You don't want to talk to me today. Well, to be honest with you, I don't. I hate cold weather. So, anyways, that's really all I prepared for you today. So I really hope I've helped you expand your vocabulary. Oh, and how did you like the tool with the interactive exercises? Yes, that's word wall. If you're a student, you might be familiar with it because I know some of our teachers use it. I'm a fan of it. That's my recent discovery. So if you want, again, you can copy the links and do the exercises on your own after the webinar and have fun with WordWall. I'll obviously prepare materials for you with all the words and phrases we've covered and more. There will be more, even more, and you will receive them together with the recording next week. Okay, so let's wrap it up. Thank you. Have a good evening. Bye. Bye bye.